Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Breaking Barriers Podcast. This is Season 6, Episode 2. I am one of your co-hosts, Daniel Robertson, also director of our Boys and Men of Color initiative at Say Yes Buffalo. I'm joined with some young men from our Breaking Barriers Youth Leadership Council. Our co-host,
Donovan Armprester. I'm also joined with one of my other friends, Josiah.
I'm Josiah Ramirez. I'm a member of the Breaking Barriers. And then we also have Jamie.
I appreciate all the awkwardness and the brief introduction. I'll go ahead and break that right there. Jamie and Uzi, Program Supervisor of Breaking Barriers Buffalo, and it's a pleasure and honor to be here, especially with my guys.
all right, y'all. So we back in the fold. We got Donovan, taking the reins today. About to take over the reins of co-hosting and interviewing folk on our podcast. It's the second episode, so we're going to give him a little grace today. But Donovan, so we got Josiah here, right?
Yeah.
And you guys are being recognized this week.
For our award.
Yeah, y'all want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Okay. So we are Young Entrepreneurs of the Year. I have a food business. Josiah, what's your business?
I have a clothing brand.
It's a clothing brand. Okay. So my food business, we got nominated for our businesses, and I think how many of us was this? Like 12, right? Of us got nominated. I think, yeah, so we got nominated for our award for being Young Entrepreneurs of the Year.
That's what's up. So we learned a little bit more about Donovan on our last podcast, and today we're going to learn about Josiah, because we're hoping that eventually Josiah is going to be co-hosting alongside of you, right? And Josiah, you're over at Hustech, right?
Yes, I'm at Hashtag.
All right, tell us a little bit about school and how that's going.
School's going good this year. Senior year, I'm almost out.
Senior year.
Senior year.
So what's next?
College. I'm undecided as to where yet, because they just started sending out the FAFSA stuff, all the financial information.
Yeah, we ain't going to talk about FAFSA this year. FAFSA's been a sore thumb for a lot of seniors this year. There's a little difficulty with the FAFSA. So you've been applying to schools, right?
Yeah.
Where have you applied?
I've applied to Buff State, St. Bonaventure, Niagara, Iona. I applied to a lot of schools, but the major ones though are St. Bonaventure, Niagara, Buff State, and I applied to Duke. They didn't accept me.
Okay.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so I respect that.
All right, so can you talk a little bit about your journey when you were applying to schools and why you decided to apply to the schools that you applied to and what you eventually want to take up?
So a lot of the schools, I applied to a lot of the schools because I went to tours on the schools, and then kind of getting onto the campus. A lot of the schools I didn't even know existed. Some of the schools existed, like St. Bonaventure. I didn't know they existed. And so I went to a college fair, and then I gave them my information. They then gave me a scholarship last year, which prompted me to apply. So then I applied there, and then Buff State and Niagara, I knew of them, but I didn't want to go to them. So, but I ended up going on tours there, and then I was like, well, maybe I could see myself here, so I applied.
All right, so what you think about taking up in school? Are you still kind of undecided?
I'm kind of in the middle. I'm floating, though, but I'm really looking into business admin.
Okay, business admin. What do you want to do with that?
Further my business expertise.
Okay.
Okay, so Josiah, I heard you talk about your business. What type of clothes do you sell?
So I sell really. It started off with it being religious clothing for the gym.
Mm-hmm.
However, I decided to be a little bit more expansive because that's such a small niche. So I kind of expanded into making it just kind of general clothing that you could wear every day, but it still has the same message behind it. It's not as focused on the religion because there's so many different religions, but religion's still a part of it. So initially, Holy Gains was the idea behind it was holy as in the Lord and Savior, and then gains in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of retwisted the initial meaning to be holy gains as in holy as in anything good, you maintain your humility and your humanity and all of that as you still gain in any sort of way, because there's more gains than just physical gains, So yeah.
So yeah, okay. So like, do you sell like shirts, pants,
Yeah.
socks, tights?
Mainly I sell shirts. I'm working on some pants and hoodies coming up soon though, but right now it's mainly just shirts.
All right, okay. So that's good. Also, like, I just want to ask you a question. Like, when you have your business, where do you see yourself like in like 10 years? Do you see yourself like making like a multi-billion-dollar company, $1 million company? Like, what's your goal basically?
In about 10 years, 10 years is okay. Yeah. So in about 10 years, maybe not billions, but somewhere near the millions, hopefully.
Okay.
You know, 10 years. I plan to be. Right now, my goal is to hit at least 6 figures within 3 years. So
That's a good goal. That's a good goal. So now we're gonna talk about like, okay, so you won the award this year, right? How do you think that you like put that award together? Like, how did you earn it, basically? Like, how do you think that you like got to the point where you are today?
a lot of hard work. I really do. I put a lot of time into it. It's crazy. It takes a lot of creativity, a lot of brain power too. Like it takes financial sacrifice, time sacrifices, energy sacrifices, a whole lot of stuff. Like ever since May last year when I started it, I kind of been trying to kind of get into it, but it's so young because being 17 is not, the law kind of limits you a lot for your safety, of course, but you're still kind of limited a lot in what you can do. Like I had to, I wasn't able to have my own like separate bank account for the business. So as of right now, it's in my mom's name, the bank account. And then I've been also kind of I've been sketching up a plan for when I turn 18, how I'm going to do that transition, while also trying to navigate running it while not being 18 yet. So
Can I jump in real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned a clothing brand. What actually made you want to start a brand?
It really just kind of hit me one night because I think a lot, So I was just sitting there thinking one night.
Overthinker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my mom, and I was sitting there talking to my mom, and I was just kind of rambling on and on and on. And then I was like, I got this idea for a clothing brand. I was like, hear me out, okay? Because I just got finished working out, and that's on my Bible. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if somebody made clothes that you could actually wear in the gym that also were like inspired by Christianity? Because I didn't like a lot of the clothes I saw when I was looking for it. And I remember somebody said the way you start a business is you take a problem that exists and you fix it. So I took the problem and I fixed it.
All right. I like that.
Okay, so a question. So who inspired you to start your business?
That is a really good question.
That's a good question. Or what was your inspiration to start, if it wasn't a particular person?
Yeah.
I really just, that's a real good question. I don't think I actually
never
had
thought
an
about
answer for
that?
it. No.
Cause for me, it was my like family members. It was my mom, my little cousins. Like I had to just start that, and then I just wanted to help people. So like
Right.
that's why that inspired me to start
Yeah.
my business. So like that was just good
Yeah.
question. But like, did you have to ever like work under somebody to get where you are today? Like different type of jobs so you can know how to manage your business?
I still do work under somebody. But no, as far as business, I don't think I ever really had any business, but I actually did. I had a lot of the stuff that I use. I did a IT internship with Buffalo Public Schools. I still do it. I'm doing it again this summer. But a lot of the stuff I use for the business, like I learned how to use spreadsheets in that internship. A lot of the navigating online and all that, navigating the internet. A lot of graphic design, because we did a bit of graphic design in there too. So that taught me how to use Canva. I got familiar with Canva and Excel and Word and all of that through that internship. So that internship really did help a lot.
Donovan, if you don't mind, just hearing you speak about your brand, speak about your business, especially as a younger person than it's inspiring me and motivating me. Where can the people and myself purchase one of these shirts? Because obviously I've been knowing you for some time, knew you when you created the business, but I don't have a shirt. So where can I make that? Where can I make that?
I'm waiting on my comp shirt or something.
I think I meant to text you guys about that.
Oh, you know, got to get you an assistant.
What size you wear?
Your size?
For real?
No, I'm just playing the language.
That is my size. But you can buy one of the shirts at shopholygains.com. As of right now, the website's under renovations. So if you try and buy it right now, you probably won't be able to. But you can also find us online at Holy Gains Clothing.
Cool. Appreciate that.
And where can the people like find your social medias and stuff at? Like, what type of social medias do you guys have?
We're on TikTok and Instagram. That's it. We're just on TikTok and Instagram at Holy Gains Clothing. No spaces.
Okay. So how do you like advertise it though? Like, do you like post your pictures?
Yeah, I
work out with it.
Usually upload to TikTok. Like I try to upload at least 3 a day to TikTok.
That's good.
And when the website was actually accessible, like before I went under renovation, it actually did work at bringing quite a few people into the brand. So it works a lot. And then Instagram helps too, because then you use the TikTok to get people to go to the Instagram.
That's good. That's good advertisement right there. Well, Mr. Dan, you got any questions to ask Josiah?
Of course. You know, I got questions on questions on questions. You know, so you've been a part of Breaking Barriers for how long now?
4 years.
It's been some years, for sure.
4 or 5, almost 5.
Yeah, more than the time that you've been at Tech.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about your experience as a Buffalo Public School student at Hutch Tech. All right, so talk a little bit about that because you're an athlete. You're about to graduate, so just kind of tell us what your experience has been like.
I'd say it was actually pretty chill. They make high school is not as big of a monster as people make it out to be. People make it seem like high school like is the worst thing in the world. It was actually pretty easy, especially seeing as towards the end, like junior, senior year. I was balancing sports. I had multiple AP classes. And throughout the entire thing, I was always advanced because I took Algebra 1 and high school biology in the 8th grade. So come last year, I was already done with a lot of the courses. So then this year, I had a lot of AP courses, like 4, 5.
No study halls for you, huh?
No, not a single one.
Yeah.
Not a single one.
I like to hear.
Oh, my God. I don't even get like one of those half 3 days on, 3 days off study halls.
Yeah, they push you a little bit at Tech.
Yeah, but I can't say it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, Mr. Solomon told me today. Mr. Jackson, he said, "Yeah, we no study halls.
Not at all.
We just keep piling on classes."
Oh man,
it's a beautiful thing though. So preparing you for the next step.
It's good for GPA inflation though.
Not GPA inflation. We ain't going there. That's crazy. So hold on, I got something for you because you're about to graduate from 8th grade.
Yes, sir.
You want to finish up with 12th and go to college. You about to go where he's leaving. What advice can you give this young man as he gets ready to enter the space that you're about to exit?
Really the easiest thing you could do to make high school as easy as possible is just get the work done when it's supposed to be done. Because it's really easy to let it pile up, like real easy to let it pile up. Like you'll be like, yeah, I'll just do it next week. And it'll be, I'll do it next week. And then come down in the market period, you're sitting there, you got 10 weeks worth of work in 8 different classes and 2 days to do it.
Sounds familiar. What's that P word?
Oh yeah, procrastination.
Procrastination.
Yeah.
And be on time too, right?
Yeah.
Always
be on
we
time.
got somebody that's notorious for being late to stuff.
I can admit I got bad time management skills. I can admit. That's on me.
And time management is definitely key. Time management is definitely key. Just because I know, and just hearing you give him that advice in terms of do your work on time, that's a part of time management, you know, to make sure that you get your work done on time, but then also you get a little bit more freedom, you know, once you get into high school, because, you know, it's your responsibility to get on the bus and get on there on time. And like Josiah said, it can pile up. So I do think that is interesting that, you know, you're a senior, you know, about to take off to college and he's in 8th grade. Yeah. Y'all both being awarded, you know, for the Entrepreneur Awards. Did y'all know each other prior to this? Like prior to all of this? Like did y'all know that he had a business? Did you know he had a business?
Nah.
No.
It came across when I was like, I think it was at your summer music. My bad for pointing, but I think it was at your summit.
The Youth Empowerment
Yeah.
Summit. Yeah, okay.
One day I was just sitting down with one of my friends, Orion, and Josiah was there, and I just asked because I seen him on the thing, and I was like, Mr. Tommy put a text message when he sent like the poster. He was like, "Good job, Donovan and Josiah." I was like, "Oh, what does Josiah do?" I was just wondering. So when I got a chance to really just like Josiah was just sitting there with me and Orion, I was like, "Josiah, what you do?" He said, "Clothing brand." I said, "Oh." He said, "What you do?" I said, "I own a food business." So that's how it kind of like connected. So.
Y'all might have to do a little pop-up shop together or something, you know?
Yeah.
Clothes and food don't sound bad to me.
So,
Don't sound that bad at all. I eat all the time.
Yo, so Jamie, you just made a crazy. You kind of double back on what I just put out there with these two, right? But then I'm gonna take it another level. I'm gonna take it another step further, right? 4-year gap between these two. He's about to enter the space that you're leaving. You're about to enter the space that not too long ago you just left.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I ain't gonna put how many years it is between y'all, but it's so what advice would you give Josiah about the space that he's about to enter into? Because you lived in that space for a while. My time in that space was a long time ago. So.
It's funny that you asked that question because I'm thinking like, dang, how long ago was that? It's definitely pushing 10 years. But I would just say, man, just the same work ethic that you applied in high school throughout the years to get to the point where you at now, just continue to do that and take the extra step. Just how I told Donovan, once he gets to high school, that freedom and time management is going to free up. I think in college it's 10 times worse. Daniel asked me that question. It took me back at Alfred State and just soon as my mom pulled off from me dropping my things off in my dorm, I'm like, what do I do from here? And that can be dangerous if you don't have your mind on right. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying that to say, just continue to apply the same work ethic that got you here, and just understand that it's gonna be some tough days, but it's also gonna be some good days. And I just say, just live your best life while you're out there though, because you won't be 18 as a college freshman again, and don't get too overwhelmed, because like I said, it's gonna be a lot of coursework that you like, what did I get myself into? Just how people were trying to prepare you for high school, they probably gonna do the same thing for college, but it's just a matter of a measure to make sure that you're good so that you can go in thinking it's gonna be crazy, and then once you get into it and you're like, oh, it's not that bad, and now you can find your friend group, find the things in which that you like to do on campus or off of campus, and once you find your routine, you'll be good. But I would say that work ethic is definitely something in which you want to carry, because it definitely powered me through. I was going to make a quick comment on the 12th grade GPA inflation. It is real, but you don't want to let that fuel you to try to get a degree. But, yeah, I would say that work ethic. And then continue to have a nice supporting cast, because that'll get you through them tough times, especially if you do go to Bonaventure and you're away from home. You know what I mean? Give mom a call, give your boys a call, whatever the case may be, but make sure you take care of your mental, because it can't feel like you in it by yourself with hundreds and or thousands of students. But like I said, just continue to work hard, and you know what I mean, reach out when need be, and make sure you got a solid support cast around you, and they're going to push you to heights and levels in which that you probably didn't even foresee. So, yeah, man, just keep going. Okay. Just keep going.
So, Jamie, you just mentioned support system, and it's funny because on Saturday we talked about what? Support systems, right? So what are some of the systems of supports that you guys have in place that you rely on to kind of get you through day-to-days, challenging times, when things just feel like they going just all wrong?
What I would say is for me, I would say I think sometimes I try to distance myself from bad situations, or try to figure out a way how I can cope with it. Either I would play basketball, or be in my room, listen to music. It's just find ways how to cope with myself. But if it's that bad that I can't handle it, I gotta go talk to somebody. And that would be my mom, my auntie, my teacher. One time it was a situation in school where this kid kept messing with me, so I had to just go talk to my teacher for a little bit, and that was a good help for me. I think if the situation is something that affects me very bad and it's a bad moment, I'm not going to let it dictate my whole day, my mom said. But if it's something that affected me very bad and I need to talk to somebody, I got the support basically around me anywhere I go to talk to somebody. I got my cell phone. I really stay in school at home go outside in the backyard. Those are like really my supports. I feel like if I talk to my friends about something, they can support me too, but it's just like a vice. Sometimes people take it differently. So, you know, I stick to myself, have three main people that I talk to, go in my room, listen to music. Yeah, that's what I think I would do. My support system.
What about you?
I say my support system really it does vary on the time of day. You know, like at school, I got my friends and all that. We talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? Something comes up, we complain to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, this guy. But then once I'm out of school, it's really my mom, because I know that she gonna always keep me in check, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, she will.
We be beefing sometimes, but I know in the back of my head, no matter how mad I am about it, it's because she cares. So, it's always nice. And then sometimes, even if I don't want to specifically talk to her, she'll talk to me.
Saturday, you mentioned something else too, but we ain't gonna put that out there. You got your backup in case there's something that you can't go over here with. I kind of put it out there, even though I said I wasn't. Didn't I?
It's all right.
Your mom gonna see this. She'll be okay. Yeah. Listen, moms know. They know with certain stuff that you don't always bring to them. It's always somebody else that you go to with stuff that you don't want to tell your mama. Yeah, it is what it is.
So Josiah, another question. When you have time management, do you ever get like tired, or are you just on a schedule, like throughout your whole week?
I am on a schedule throughout my whole week. However, I do still get tired. I be sitting there, I be looking at my schedule, because now, like, man, I'm at that point in my life where I got to start actually using my calendar app.
Yeah.
Should have been using it.
See, I don't use
I didn't have
mine.
anything
How
going
do we
on
talk
before.
about? I time manage y'all to death. You should have been using it, but I'm glad to hear you say that you're gonna use it now.
Oh man, and sometimes I just look at my calendar, and I'm like, oh, I don't got no free time this week.
Yeah, that's how it be. I gotta set reminders on my calendar sometimes. Like I got a lot of stuff to do weeks, like every week. Only got really a Sunday.
Right.
I get a couple hours, like 8 hours to myself. So that's a good time for me. But all other days I'm just busy,
Y'all talking like y'all full grown, blown adults.
Oh,
No, but
man.
like I be a lot of stuff.
Like they working full-time jobs,
Wife and kids at
part-time
home.
job, like.
I do work a lot though. That's the thing. I still be trying to work 30 hours while doing
Okay.
everything else.
All right,
what
you
I
know
just be in
what?
a
I
lot of
can't.
stuff. I just be around everywhere. So I be like in programs and stuff. So it's different things.
Speaking of programs, let's talk about breaking barriers.
We could.
So you got about a year in now. You about 5 years in. Talk about the impact that breaking barriers has had on both of you.
Oh, it's messing.
You still grabbing it. Just find a place for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Just rest them. Just rest them.
Look, boom, right here. Rest in place.
I'm gonna adjust it real quick. All right, there we go.
You want me to just run back that question I just asked?
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of programs, you both have been involved in breaking barriers for a little bit. You about 5 years. I'll give you a year.
A year.
I'll give you a year.
A year and like 2 months.
You still got a little bit before you get that jacket.
I was
that
supposed to
Jamie
get it
has
this
on.
year.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, next year because
hopefully.
we had to push back.
Yeah, well, you got to complete your requirements, sir.
I brought somebody into breaking barriers already.
That's one. This is
That's one.
4 more.
What's the other ones?
You gotta write an essay.
Really?
You gotta write a couple
Essay?
essays.
Tell them, Josiah, because you're a graduate.
Essay.
You have to write 2 essays. One is like a letter to your future self, I think,
Yep.
and then one is an essay about
Breaking
what
barriers.
you gained from breaking barriers. Yeah.
Right. That was something else, right?
Community service.
That was something else. I
Didn't
think,
we have
for
to do
Mr.
a
Uzi.
And
book report?
attendance.
Mr. Daniel, we could check the attendance. We can check the attendance. We can go
That
there.
also means showing up on time.
Okay, we can't go there. But
Anyways, that's
check the
requirements for
attendance.
graduation, right? Talk about the impact breaking barriers has had on both of you. Yeah, you guys have different entry points, but different lengths of time of being involved. But just talk about what it's done for you.
I could say breaking barriers, it changed me a little bit. It put me more in a perspective of in check. I think I wasn't a kid that usually wanted to do stuff. But I think breaking barriers put me in an area like sometimes I can feel uncomfortable, but it's like it's a reason or a cause for it. So like if I feel uncomfortable in some way, like breaking barriers like opened up my plate to like really once I do it, it's not like that bad no more, you know? So like at first I was scared to come on the podcast, but like now I'm here talking to y'all. It's like it's not that bad no more. Y'all regular people like me. So I think breaking barriers just opened up me being so nervous and like opening myself up. I feel like I'm good now. But also breaking barriers also helped me by like keeping me in like manners in the check. Mr. Dale, if I did anything wrong or like bad or like if I back talk to my mom, Mr. Dale gonna get on me for it. So it's like Mr. Dale put me in check too sometimes, cause you know if Mr. Dale got a problem with me, he gonna tell me. So it's just about that honesty too. It's like if somebody keep me in check, I know not to. It's a boundary that he said it already, so I understand. You know, basically like it's a boundary. So now I'm really like I got more manners now. I think I'm doing more. Like I'm not self-centered no more. I think I could talk to other peers and like actually give them advice about life. I haven't been through life that much, but like from certain standpoints, I think I didn't experience that much, but I have some stuff that I was back in the past that breaking barriers changed me in some way. A good way though, like a positive way. I think I didn't have that much manners when I was
Love that
younger.
mic.
I apologize. But it's just something casual. I do it with my microphone at home too when I gotta talk, you know. But I think breaking barriers just changed me in a way to be a young man in a certain way. Like now, every time it could be something as little as a piece of paper or like a quarter or a penny, and I'll say thank you, and they'll say you're welcome. Or like if somebody asks me for like something, I'll be like, okay, you can have this, but I appreciate it. Like it's I got more manners. It could be the smallest things that make me happy. So like I just gotta appreciate what I got, and I gotta be grateful for it. That's the thing about my life. As long as I be grateful, God can set me up in a path where I could do amazing things. And that's what I just got to keep, like, just being nice to everybody, be, like, just good advice or give people good advice, and, like, just be that person where somebody could talk to them in some way. So breaking barriers did that for me, and now I'm here. I'm me.
Jamie, that boy working overtime over there.
Yeah, I was looking at him like,
Find out.
sheesh.
I didn't know. Okay. What about you, sir? You got some time in.
More time than me.
Yeah, facts.
I'd say similar to Donovan, it did help me because when I first came in, I didn't talk to nobody.
Yeah, you definitely
I
did.
was
That's how I
terrible
was,
at it.
too.
I was terrible. The whole social thing, that was not.
You Xavier 2.0.
But
sure.
then as I kind of, over time, it actually happened pretty quick. Over time, though, I became more social, like way more social. And I got used to being in new spaces quicker. Like, I became a lot less shy, in a sense. You know? Like, when I first came in, I wouldn't talk to anybody. Like, I was just nervous. I was just scared. But through the years, I find that now I could walk into a room full of people I have no clue who any of them are and still be able to walk out there knowing at least 5 different people's names. You know? So, yeah, that's one thing. Another thing, though, is it really kind of whipped me into shape. Because I really didn't know, like, I didn't know anything. I won't lie, when I first came in. Like, private, I was in, like, the 8th grade. Like, beginning of 8th grade. So, part of it's that. But it also kind of taught me a lot about being a man, what it means to be a man. You know, I didn't know really what it meant to be a man. So it taught me that. And it taught me, I also learned how to behave in anything. Like, I went to the trip to Baltimore a couple years ago. I didn't know there was a wrong way to eat bread until that trip. like,
Proper food etiquette.
Yeah.
Dining etiquette.
Like, everything, man. Like, oh, man. And then that's another thing it taught me, too. I didn't know I really wasn't comfortable with flying before. But then from that trip alone, I managed to become real comfortable flying. Like, I went to I went to Cancun with my family last year, and I was like, oh yeah, I already know this whole process. So that's another bonus thing.
Yeah. I say he definitely came out of his shell. Because I remember when you legit, I agree. You wouldn't say nothing to nobody. Very few words. We'll do what's good. It's like at a football game.
Yeah.
And now we get a whole Ramirez report.
Ramirez
We
report.
get the whole rundown, weekly rundown. So, yeah. I know we getting close to time. Anything else that you want to?
I seen you about to grab that mic again.
Oh,
Yeah,
you still grabbing it?
See, to piggyback off of Josiah, I don't think I was ever shy, but I think I was nervous in such a way to meet new people. I don't think I was like, I think I had a certain amount of friends I stuck around of. It'll be like only 2 people, but like now, ever since I joined Breaking Barriers, like these people are now like, I know them. These like, I make connections and like bonds with all these other people, so like I feel like I'm more comfortable. And like I could read a room, you know, so like that's easier, but I think as long as I get more social and talk to people, I think I can, like, you know, be more social, have a better social life. So that's what Breaking Barriers did for me. Because, be honest, I didn't know Mr. Jamie, and I was so scared. I feel like I was just so scared to talk to Mr. Jamie. I didn't even know who Mr. Daniel was, but I remember me like meeting Mr. Daniel when I was a little younger. I feel like, and I was like, I still was shy. I ain't really talk that much, but ever since I like played basketball one day with Mr. Jamie, it just built a bond, I think, that helped me understand like Mr. Jamie's a good person. Like I didn't know that. I built a bond with Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel, he was a good person too. I just built that. Ever since, like, I think I didn't really talk to Josiah until that day, unless I didn't know nothing about Josiah until that day. That's the first time I talked to Josiah, and I think that pulled me out of my shell to be more social. Because I was just sitting there with Orion, but I just had to talk to Josiah, and then I was like, oh, Josiah, a really cool dude. And that just built a bond, I think, with just all of us, personally.
Man, y'all trying to make brothers tear up over here. But that ain't going to happen. That's beautiful, man. I wanted to kind of introduce this new segue today, but I'll wait until our next podcast. But just so you guys know, I'm going to ask y'all about what your breaking barriers moment was at a later date, and I'll explain what that means on the next podcast. It was something I kind of saw on another podcast, and I was like, yeah, we're going to try to implement that. So any last kind of closing words, comments from any of you guys before we wrap up today?
I appreciate everybody that's watching. I just want to say thank you for watching, being here, not wasting your time, but just actually just listening to people. I appreciate that. But what I gotta say, I'll see you guys next podcast.
Word.
And I'll chime in real quick. I was just telling Daniel earlier when we were at a school, talking to younger people is probably like the most fun part of my job. It's just something about talking to people, getting to know them in a deeper level. So I just appreciate this conversation, to be able to kick it with y'all. And I look forward to the rest of these podcasts. I'm loving that breaking barriers moment because, as you said, I'm thinking like, what was my breaking barriers moment? But it's just the thrill of being on the podcast with your brothers. I think this definitely has power. We appreciate anyone and everybody that's watching. Please check out this episode. Please stay tapped in, subscribe, do all the things. And with that, like I said, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. Josiah, anything for you? Anything that you want to say to any of the younger folk that's kind of listening as you kind of embark on this next stage of life for you?
Yeah, just one last thing. The most important thing you could do, the best thing you could do for yourself is be yourself. You know, just be yourself, man. Don't ever lose yourself.
That's like a running theme. You talked a little bit about that
what
last
I wanna
podcast,
do.
too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Crazy. I feel like y'all was talking or something. All right. With that, y'all, it's a wrap. We wrapping up episode 2 of season 6, Breaking Barriers podcast. Co-host Daniel Robertson, Diamond Iron Presser, Mr. Jamie and Uzi over there, Josiah Ramirez. We see y'all next time. Peace and love to all of our listeners. Thank you to our supporters. Love y'all. See y'all soon.